tremendous amount. There are a bit of rotation in midfield. We've got Adam Lallana in here at the moment and etc. Joe Gomez obviously in there alongside Van Dijk. That is pretty much what it is, set in stone formation-wise. I'm more intrigued by what happens here with Spurs. And personnel-wise, Tim, would you see someone like Sessegnon, young lad, very much in the early stages of his Spurs career, do you see this sort of game being right for him?
No, on the basis of what Jose said 2 weeks ago when he said he doesn't trust Ryan Sessegnon at the moment as a left-back in the Premier League. Now, needs must. Danny Rose and Davis are injured. Possibly might go without. I see Vertonghen playing at left-back and I see Sanchez coming into the...
So let's do that. Let's just do that for the time being. So you think Vertonghen will go there and you think Davis and Sanchez...
I think Sanchez will come into that role there.
Right.
Look, Andy, it's really difficult to second-guess Jose Mourinho's side. I don't think he knows what his best side is at the moment. I think he's still learning about this group of players. He hasn't had a great time on the training field to learn about them. He needs to start learning very, very quickly. He's had games thick and fast over the Christmas period. Irrespective of personnel, I think the structure of the team and their objectives at the weekend is to stop Liverpool playing. So first and foremost, Andy, he will not be working all this week on how he can
inflict damage on them.
No, it will just damage limitations, try and stop Liverpool playing first and foremost. Everyone knows how Liverpool's going to set up. They ain't going to change to go to the new White Hart Lane Stadium. It's Jose's choice to, I think, smother this game. Try and catch Liverpool on a counter-attack. They had the pace in Moura and they have the pace in Son. Yes, we know they've got players missing in midfield, like Sissoko's gone for a knee operation. They've got Harry Kane, who's out for a long period now with a hamstring strain. Just get on with it. The personnel will change from this, what we've got here. We're just second-guessing, but the instruction will be exactly the same.
So let's do that, Tim. So let's therefore take the names off.
Yeah.
Right? So all week, if you're Jose Mourinho this week, and you know that you're about to play Liverpool, where's the emphasis on what goes on a week's work building up to a big game like this?
It will be defensively. So if we had the football in this position here, for instance, where we'll see maybe a Jordan Henderson.
If the ball's there, right?
If the ball is there, he'll be working on the block. How high is the block?
Explain to us what a block is,
So the
Tim.
block
What do you mean?
is the word defensive line. How high do they keep their defensive line? Now, Jose will have a low block, a medium block and a high block. The high block very rarely comes into Jose's vocabulary.
Do it with a line for us, Tim. Do it with a line. That's
so in relation to that ball there, I think the line what he would have would be a little bit deeper. It'd be there. I think it'd be 10, 15 yards outside of his 18-yard box.
And what's that? Is that low? Is that what you're saying?
That's a low block.
That's a low
block for him. But in time, they will all get to know, or every personnel at Tottenham will get to know what a low and a high block is, and a medium block. But the crucial part is distances in between this way, distances between the players. Don't want any gaps. And also the depth. I think he will go two sitting midfield players. And he won't want any space in between.
That's a good point, Tim, because when you actually get this, when you get that and you get the ability for Liverpool to have their three best players, their strikers, or particularly Firmino in there, that's when you know you're in a little bit of problem. So these boys, as you say, distance-wise, have to get that right. That area across there, right across the field, has got to be at a minimum, yeah?
Absolutely. And I think these boys as well, they will double up. The wide boys will double up on the fullbacks and help them out here. All this is good defensively, but what it means is Son or Moura in this position is going to be very, very isolated with likes of Dele Alli trying to get up in support when he can. But the majority of the time, you see Dele dropping back into a three-man midfield.
Can you do that at home? Jose's kind of given the impression a little bit up to now that he's wanted to play. He's wanted almost his teams to play with a bit more freedom and be a little bit more aggressive in their forward play. We've seen that in certain matches.
Yeah, we've seen that in certain matches against lesser opposition.
Yes, we have.
When he's played against the top teams, like Man United, like Chelsea, he's reverted back to type. This is what he's happy doing. He's happy absorbing pressure and counter-attacking sides. I think he's got the personnel to do it. Yes, no Harry Kane. We know he's very important because when you get that ball up to Harry, he will nick free kicks for you. He will take you up the field. Now, Son likes to drift. If it's Son or whether it's Moura, they drift in these positions. There's not really a vocal point in the centre of the pitch where you can get the ball up. We know what Liverpool do. Their line will be right up here. So if we're talking about they're playing the game in that half, the line will be there.
That's where Van Dijk and Gomez and Alexander-Arnold and Robertson will be operating. But
absolutely.
That's where they are.
Jose would stand here on the training pitch, Andy. He'd be here on the training pitch and they will be defending in there. And the red team, the Liverpool side, will be the load of reserve players. And he will set them out exactly how Liverpool are going to set themselves out. We know how they're going to set themselves out. Yes, the quality is going to be different. And he will let them defend different situations all of the time. And it will all be about when they put the press on, when they drop back, the distances. Don't let Firmino come into these areas like this. If you let Firmino come into this sort of area, it's going to hurt you.
Right.
Now, what does he tell? Is he going to tell Vertonghen or Sanchez or Alderweireld to come into these positions?
To follow him all the way in?
No, he won't. He'll be doing that.
He'll be getting
Eric
back.
Dyer in there and Ndombele in there. And they will be putting out the danger. They will be putting out the fires in that sort of area. Because that is the way Jose likes to play. Can he get away with it at home? It's a great question. I think he can on the basis that Liverpool haven't been beat for such a long time. It's the Liverpool factor what allows him to get away with it this weekend.
Yeah. I'm interested to know, Tim. So look, if we move these boys up, let's just assume that Alisson's got the ball at his feet up here. Okay? So let's put just a little marker here. Here's the ball here. And now I want to know what Spurs do in a situation where Liverpool might be playing out from the back a little bit.
Yeah.
And at what stage, Tim, do these boys, Tottenham's wide players, go and front up Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson? Well, when do they?
This is for sure the highest block they're ever going to be.
So they'll never be on the halfway line, you don't think? Not much, occasionally.
No, not at all. They will drop. They don't want the space. They know the pace of Mane.
Yeah.
They know the pace of Son. They know the midfield players, Wijnaldum, can break into them areas.
Yeah.
This will be as high as they be, and they will try and absorb the pressure.
Yeah.
Now, if they decide they want to play out from the back to their fullbacks here.
Yeah.
Now, you're asking me, when do they engage?
When do they go?
I think they drop for now. They drop for now, and then when they come to this area of the pitch here, when they start coming out 20 yards from there, 25, 30 yards from the goal, maybe with it there, then they will start going in there
then they'll start to engage.
But I believe the fullbacks on this side here and this side here will stay intact. Will stay intact, and it'll be up to the midfield player there to go and join in and help the press, with Eric Dyer always staying and protecting that Firmino factor in there.
Do you think, I mean, that's interesting, Tim. I'll tell you what, that's very interesting, that. I'll put the names back on and let's go back to perhaps a little bit more of a formation that we think in terms of those personnel. Because I'm intrigued to know about, you mentioned this week, you think all that emphasis will have been on what's happening in front of his own back four.
Yes.
Getting that right, absolutely right. But if you're saying those fullbacks are going to stay and wait and these guys are going to perhaps press a little bit at times here and there, if you allow these guys to have the freedom to just keep coming and coming and coming, this guy, particularly this lad, he can put it on a sixpence from there.
Yeah. He
can drop it on a plate for Firmino. If Firmino makes a run in there, this guy can go bang, drop it literally on a sixpence. So what I'm really intrigued about, what I'm looking forward to, because Jose's usually, Tim, he has been over the years, perhaps we haven't seen it quite so much lately, but over the years he's always been very good on one-off game, setting something up and making it work.
Yeah.
And making it work. I think you have to deny these boys, don't you? You've got to try and deny those boys.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Lo Celso's just going to do this? He's going to go... Now, I don't know where he's just gone there, by the way, but are you saying that they're going to just do that the whole time?
I think they will. I think they'll double up. They'll double up on the sides. Let's put for instance, I think Eriksen will be out there, and
put Dyer back.
Eric Dyer will be certainly in that central midfielder, and a double block with Ndombele in there.
It's because he won't go off, Tim. Let me just do that again. Hold on. There you go. Let's try it again. That's better. No, let's try. He's just over there, Tim. There he is, Tim, up there. Okay. Unfortunately, he's just moved just for a split second.
I think he will be off anyway, Andy. I think he will come off the
Dyer
pitch.
on.
Dyer will come and the double block in there. and Eriksen will maybe do this.
Are you saying Christian Eriksen would want to follow him all the way?
Absolutely.
All the way in there?
Absolutely. Follow a double up. So more on this side as well. Yeah. He will come and if Alexander comes here, they will double up on Vertonghen, because we know he's not going to be on his own there. They're going to have more for company, because the likes of Mo Salah will operate out here as well. So they need a 2v2 in these areas. That is what he will do. Even if the ball is on this side of the pitch, he will follow it up. Whereas some braver managers out there, I'm not saying he's right or wrong by doing this, Jose, would, if the ball was on this side, they would let Moura come in that half and half position.
Not track him all the way back.
So if they hit the big switch of play, it gives him time to get back into this area.
Yeah.
But Jose likes them there already, set, ready, and let them play in front. Yeah. And then when they win the ball, they like to try and spring into action and get Ali up in support of Son.
Yeah. Interesting. Look, we'll see. I'm sure he's been working extremely hard with the players, no doubt, this week. One guy that doesn't always grab the headlines, Tim, but is a guy, and it plays in a position that you and I operate in, is Jordan Henderson. How impressed with him have you been this season in terms of what he gives the team and what he does, and how important a component is he in this Liverpool team?
I mean, he's vitally important. I mean, he's the reference. I think he's the manager's brain on the football pitch. I think Jurgen Klopp would tell him what he needs. I think he's very intelligent, and he takes that onto the pitch. I think when you talk about the fullbacks getting forward into them areas, and we know how prolific Alexander-Arnold and Robertson are when they come forward, I think Jordan's the one then who just drifts into these areas to try and protect.
Plug a gap, fill a gap.
Yeah, plugs it. And if there goes there, then he's always there. He's always filling up a hole just in case he's needed for the insurance. He's also got ability. He gets himself in these areas when they're attacking, and he delivers balls into the box there. I mean, it's fantastic delivery.
He's got better like that, Tim, hasn't he? I think he got better with his delivery like that.
But I think he's allowed to, Andy, because he's got good players in and around him as well. So the emphasis is not on him all the time to create, but when they're 2 or 3-0 up in the games, he shows us what he's got. He shows the whole array of talent, what he possesses. I just think he's a great tackler. He's a fantastic leader. If he's not playing particularly well, he makes sure others are in and around him.
That's a good point. He's now got to find the right solution for his front man. Let's just have a look at some numbers for Spurs with and without Harry Kane. So here we go. This is since Harry Kane's injury prior to the Champions League final back in April. And there you go. With him, 26 games. They've won 11, drawn 6, lost 9. Without him, 13 games, of course, but they've only managed to win 3 of them. There were some numbers knocking around at one point that showed that actually Spurs seemed to have quite a good little spell without him. But of course, you can't be operating at your best without your main man. How pivotal is it? How detrimental is it to them in a game like this?
Huge. I mean, you could see the win percentage at the bottom here, 42 opposed to 23 without Harry. Any team would miss him with his quality. Interesting, we've heard a lot about his injury and Sissoko injured, and Jose's told us about every player who was injured. Under Pochettino, we didn't really hear too much about injuries, and Harry certainly had his injuries under Pochettino. He just trusted the rest of the squad. Now, Jose has to trust now. This is the time when he has to trust and give the confidence to the players who he has got at his disposal. And then players are Lucas Moura and Son. Let's face it, this boy, for me, Son can play in any team in the Premier League. Any. Man City and Liverpool included. If you put him off here, or here, in Liverpool's side, he could play. So Jose, unfortunately, yes, it's disappointing that Harry Kane's missing, but that happens. You have to find another solution. Now, that solution for me now is Son down the middle. Son is the one who seems to relish. When he's listening to people talk about how Harry Kane's missing, he's done it previously. Harry Kane's missing, Tottenham's chances of whatever they want to achieve are finished. He rolls his sleeves up. He's the one who takes that personally, and he thinks, you know what? I'm a number 9 also. Yes, I'm a different mould to Harry Kane. I've got more movement. I've got more pace. The way Jose wants to set his team up, certainly on Saturday evening, to defend, it might suit him because he has got pace. If he's got anything over Harry Kane, he's quicker.
Yeah.